children are, nuestros niños son sagrados. Our children are beautiful, bellos son. Our children are a gift, son el regalo más amado. Our children are sacred, sagrados. Our children.
For you guys, and we're going to start it off with a beautiful song, una composición de Francisco Herrera, because our children are sacred. Los niños son sagrados. Sí, señor.
Our children are sacred. Our children are sacred. Our children are beautiful. Todos. Our children are beautiful. Our children are sacred. Our children are sacred. Our children are beautiful. Our children are a gift. Our children are sacred. Nuestros niños son sagrados. Our children are beautiful. Bellos son. Our children are a gift. Son el regalo más sagrado.
Excuse me, can you let them come up?
Our children are sacred. Sagrados son. Ya se la aprendieron, ¿verdad? Our children are sacred. Nuestros niños son sagrados. Our children are beautiful. Bellos son. Our children are a gift. Son el regalo más amado. Our children are sacred. Sagrados son. Try it together, whatever language you want. And Lord, our children are sacred. Nuestros niños son sagrados. Our children are beautiful. Bellas son. Our children are a gift. Son el regalo más amado. Our children are sacred. Sagrados son. Y aquí están, llenas de esperanza, de una vida con ganas de amar, pues son las maestras, doctores, artistas, madres ingenieras de un mundo de paz. ¡Se puede! Our children ready todos. Our children are, nuestros niños son sagrados. Our children are beautiful, bellos son. Our children are a gift, son el regalo más amado. Our children are sacred, sagrados. Our children, we welcome and embrace the family, yeah, and give them love. We declare sanctuary, yeah, building bridges, not a wall. Sanctuary, we all belong to the earth. All children are sacred. Sagrados son. Sagrados son. Let me hear you. Sagrados son. Sagrados son. One last time. Sagrados son. Sagrados son. All children are sacred. Juntos. Our children are sacred. One last time. That's it. And one way of making them sacred is tomorrow at 2 p.m. is the hearing right here for the resolution to close the camp. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. Este es el grito de nuestros dolores. This is the grito of our pains and the grito of our proclamation that we all belong to the earth. Nobody is the owner of any earth. We all belong to the earth. Tomorrow, 2 p.m., hearing right here. Close the camp. ¡Órale!
Give it up for Sarah Souza.
Good afternoon. I'm a DACA recipient and I'm a proud immigrant and I'm here to represent 11 million immigrants and the children that are in cages. Today, I'm demanding that I'm also the president of the Latino Democratic Club. And the reason that I'm saying this is because I'm the first dreamer to lead the club and we're fighting to ensure that the kids will be free. We are demanding to stop family separation, close the camps, and free the children now. We are tired of federal legislation that criminalizes our families. We are human beings. We want to put an end to massive ICE raids now. We want it now, and we want amnesty now. Because our community, we are the present and future, and I hope that we keep fighting because I'm tired of Republicans and Democrats using us as a token for their politics. We need to stop that because we are human beings. I keep saying that because I want to remind them that we want an immigration reform that's humane and that's going to address all the immigration issues. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. So I hope that I can count on you to keep fighting. Let's organize. 2020 is going to be our year. Let's register voters. Let's elect someone that will represent us. Thank you.
So we're demanding the detention center that they free our children now. When do we want the children free? Now. When do we want our children free? Now.
Gracias y esperamos que este grito llegue a esas grandes corporaciones y al número 45, ¿verdad? Que ya basta de tanta injusticia con estos niños. Queremos esos niños en los parques jugando.
We hope that this job for justice comes over to those corporations and to the 45. Enough with mistreating our children. We want those camps closed.
Ok, y los que me puedan seguir con una consigna con mucha fuerza para que llegue hasta Texas, a esos centros de detención donde están estos niños, ¿verdad? Aquí, allá, la lucha seguirá. Aquí, allá, la lucha seguirá. Aquí, allá, la lucha seguirá. ¡Que vivan los niños!
Bueno, todavía no. Your cell phones. I want you to go to Saturday, November 2nd for Dia de los Muertos we are going to do a procession in memory of all the children and people who have died
At the border.
crossing the border. So put it on your calendar. Saturday, November 2nd, Dia de los Muertos procession beginning at 10 o'clock in the morning. We're going to do it at Dolores Park, and we're going to start there because that's where the Olonis are buried. That is sacred land. They were the first ones who were invaded by the Europeans that came to this country, who were never asked for a green card or a brown card or any chingado papeles.
And next up, we have Fabian Maineto, Party for Socialism and Liberation.
Brothers and sisters, it is truly an honor to be part of such a massive showing of solidarity, in part led by the youth of this city. As such, I want to use my platform to amplify the voice of the youth and the rage we feel towards the current state of affairs. We recognize the Trump administration's depravity for what it is and demand the immediate closure of these concentration camps. The child neglect, the separation of families, the inhumane caging of innocent people is a crime. Right. But the fight for immigrants' rights and immigrant dignity isn't just battling the Republicans. It was the Obama administration that developed the mechanisms which created these camps and has deported people en masse. That is why the immigrants' rights movement rightfully declared him the deporter-in-chief. We must recognize the failures and lies of Democratic leadership who have consistently used Latinx people as political props every election cycle. For how long have they been promising us a pathway to citizenship? Now they say, just wait, one day we'll fix our broken immigration system. The people are tired of waiting. We at the Party for Socialism and Liberation have a really simple plan that will instantly grant full rights to all undocumented people seemingly overnight. It's called amnesty. If this plan sounds outrageous and impossible, it is only because we have grown accustomed to the cowardice of the political leadership who have drifted so far to the right and abandoned the working class. After all, how could capitalist politicians ever claim to be fighting for undocumented people when their donors benefit from the same exploited undocumented labor? Moreover, I want to remind everyone that it was reactionary icon Ronald Reagan that passed an amnesty law in 1986. Our rights and our dignity should not depend on who is in office. We, our people, united in the streets like we were today, should be the power that makes our demands a reality. That's right. All of the things we want are within our reach if we are willing to fight for them. And we are going to fight for them from a position of strength. And our strength is rooted in our solidarity for all of those oppressed by the American state, including the victims of American foreign policy. Brothers and sisters, we are going to counter Trump's racism with solidarity, and we are going to counter the weakness of Democrats with the strength of the people. A better world is within our reach. If anyone is interested in helping to create this world, talk to me or anyone from the PSL back there. Thank you, and la lucha sigue.
Here in San Francisco, we put kids in classrooms, not cages, and that's what we will continue to do. Protest today. We are doing it for some people who can't be with us. We are doing it to make sure that we create a better future for next generation. This country was built on the backs of slaves and immigrants. This country was founded by sometimes bringing people to this country against their will. And we know that the reason why we are a successful country is because of our diversity and our immigrant communities. And so we must fight now more than ever to protect that. And I want to thank each and every one of you for your continued work and advocacy. You have a partner in the mayor's office. You have someone who will not just talk about supporting, but invest dollars into attorneys and all the other things we need to protect our children and keep our community safe. Let's continue to fight and send a message loud and clear that we will not be moved, we will not be forced to separate, and we will take care of our children for future generations to come. Thank you all so much for being here today.
All right, now let's give it up for our next speaker, who is a dynamite woman, a Latina, who has been an organizer for unions for before I was born. And let me tell you, that was a long time ago. Please give it up for my sister, Olga Miranda, from the San Francisco Labor Council.
Good afternoon, buenas tardes. Buenas tardes. I want to acknowledge our brothers and sisters that are from labor here today, our firefighters that marched, drove their truck, Local 798, our San Francisco Labor Council, IATSE, who are taking care of the sound, our sisters and brothers teachers from SEIU 1021, and my janitors, Local 87 here in San Francisco. I also want to make sure that everybody understands that the babies, the children that marched earlier this morning with everybody down the Mission District were teachers being able to do it on their own time, and they understood that every day that they take the risk to be able to march on those streets with the babies whose parents allow them. We are San Francisco. We are San Francisco. And I ask every single one of you today that the future looks bright because of all the young people we are surrounded by and that are leading the battle cry of injustice. Somos muy bendecidos y tenemos el privilegio de que el futuro que nos espera es muy brillante. Tenemos jóvenes, niños pequeños que comenzaron a marchar esta mañana. El futuro es nuestro, porque miren lo que estamos inculcando, lo que estamos sembrando es una benevolencia y un nuevo liderazgo que va a seguir peleando contra la injusticia. It's all of these children. These are the seeds that we have planted in San Francisco to raise children that have consciences like no one else. And not only are they answering the battle cry, but I want to tell you that labor has built this city. We clean this damn city. We take care of this damn city. And it's workers every day that you see at the bus stops at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, at 2 o'clock in the morning, home care workers, healthcare workers, hotel workers, janitors. This city makes everybody want to come here. And you want to know why? Because it's been the mecca of social justice. And it's not just because it was born in us. It's not just because someone told us it was the right thing to do or it's a fad on Instagram. Organized labor loves our families. And we wake up and we sacrifice, and damn, that sweat on the front of your forehead, when you do that, I want to tell you that every worker here, cada trabajador aquí cuenta. These hands, we're not just service workers. No solamente somos manos. Somos seres humanos. We are human beings. We are workers. And we lift our heads of pride. For my janitors, for all of my members, we are invisible in these buildings when they are dark and the lights are twinkling. I ask every single one of you to look up, because every light that's on is a worker that's still cleaning up after everyone. You know, these camps, when I see everybody bringing their babies, I had members march with me from our local today, and we had a member marching with their baby. I asked that member, doesn't it feel good to be able to breathe in your baby, to be able to hold your child, that if they start complaining or they're hungry,
that mother can hold their child and keep them safe. Brothers and sisters, this is an absolute injustice, and these camps are nothing more than, if we don't do anything, this is us allowing for more concentration camps for children. We must take a stand. We have to take a position. And I know a lot of people will say, damn, it's hot out here. How many more shades of brown do I gotta get? How many more marches do I have to go to? I ask every single one of you to please make conscience. The future is bright, but the children that are in those cages gotta come home. They gotta come home. They gotta come home to their mamas and their dads. La injusticia no es buena, pero si no decimos y llamamos las cosas al pan, pan, al vino, vino y a la mierda, mierda, nunca vamos a progresar. If we don't call things for what they are, wine is wine and bread is bread. But when we see shit, it's still shit. And this 45 in 2020, I don't care if you're a Democrat, I don't care what party you affiliate yourself. If we are not voting, we will remain with this son of a bitch. Si no salimos a votar, vamos a seguir con este hijo de puta. So I ask everyone, organized labor, we are registering people to vote. Organized labor is participating in the census. We must all be counted. We can't let these sons of bitches think we are invisible. We deserve our fair share too. Thank you.
I was born and raised right on the border, the El Paso Juárez. So, the border, I could not cross the border. The border crossed me. I grew up with family on both sides of the river. So borders never meant anything to me, and they don't do now. Now, we find ourselves in the United States under policies that are brutal, that are ignorant, they're absolutely cruel. Having been born on the border, I am heir to two muses who speak two different languages, Spanish and English. And I do not have to choose one over the other. The muses always grant me the favors in the two tongues. So 95.9% of the things I write in both Spanish and English. So, se me pidió, como poeta laureado de la ciudad, que recite un poema sobre los niños, las niñas, madres, padres, separados, encarcelados, enjaulados, torturados en centros de concentración en la frontera del sur. ¿Cómo poner en canto el sufrir, el llanto, el terror, el espanto de los niños arrebatados de los brazos de sus madres, sus padres, por manos bruscas, en voces rudas, en lengua que no comprende? ¿Cómo decir? Su dormir de pesadillas, exhaustos de llorar, no envueltos en cobijas de algodón y lana, oliendo a consuelo, sino en mantas isométricas, metálicas y frías, en el suelo de una jaula. ¿Cómo cantar los muertos? ¿Cómo cantar la angustia de las madres, los padres, por sus hijitos, sus hijitas? ¿Cómo gritar el dolor y la rabia? Protestar la crueldad de los canallas en la Casa Blanca, el Congreso, la Corte Suprema del país. Enmudecen las musas. Aquí, los límites de la poesía. Solo servirá la resistencia. Revolución Esta será nuestro poema, no hay otro. I am asked, as poet laureate of the city, to recite a poem on the children, mothers, fathers, separated, jailed, caged, tortured in concentration camps on the southern border. How to put in song the suffering, the cries, the terror, the fright of the children snatched from their mothers, their fathers' arms, by rough hands, in harsh voices they do not understand. How to tell their sleep of nightmares, exhausted by crying, not wrapped in blankets of cotton and wool, smelling of comfort, but in space blankets, metallic and cold, on the floor of a cage. How to sing the deaths. How to sing the anguish of the mothers, the fathers, for the little sons, little daughters. How cry the pain and rage. Protest the cruelty of the villains in the White House, the Congress, the Supreme Court of the land. The muses grow mute. Here, the limits of poetry. Only resistance will do. Revolution. That will be our poem. There is no other. And indeed, my brothers and sisters, now the time for revolution. Not tomorrow, because the future is now. And I do not refer to a revolution of arms because the scoundrels have them all. It is a revolution that must go much, much deeper than that, into the roots of our hearts, into the roots of our consciousness. And our revolution must be a meaningful revolution that changes the culture. We're suffering the immigrants who have to leave their countries because our countries have been destroyed by U.S. policy for the economics of empire. And I will be very clear to you, capitalism. Capitalism has to come down because the earth cannot sustain it. Capitalism depends upon two things: an unbridled rape of the earth for raw resources to be turned into consumable products, but slave labor for the profit of the few. The earth and we cannot sustain it. So I call upon everyone within the range of hearing to commit yourselves to the revolution that we must carry on now.
Our children are a gift, son el regalo más amado. Our children are sacred, sagrados son.